Okay, this is just going to be a quick presentation for our data preparation showcase, which we decided to use OpenRefine. The data issue that we are currently dealing with is statistics for over 260 different countries and territories. These statistics include the birth rates of these countries, populations of these countries or territories, the area, how big it is, and I think the total was about 46 different attributes. So here is the giant unfiltered CSV file that we downloaded. Each row represents a different country, and since it's in CSV, it's all in one column at the moment. And this is it after it has been thrown into OpenRefine. The problems identified consist of it originally being in a CSV formatted sheet. This means that, like I said before, all the information is in one column when it actually needs to be separated into 46 different columns, one for each attribute. Some of the data sets, such as the island listed there, it does not have any data in it at all. It just has the island name, and everything else is empty. So the blank islands or territories or countries need to be removed. And all of this data is currently treated like text, so importing it into a database would probably be incompatible. So we need to turn these text cells into numeric values. So the steps taken to solve this issue consist of importing that CSV file into OpenRefine as a new project, of course. Select different pre-import options before even creating the project, such as removing the white space, selecting what values are separated by. In our case, it's semicolons, and there's a few different other settings. Data is automatically separated into columns when imported, so that is an easy solution to everything being in one column. We then turn the text data into numeric data where it's required, which is also a pre-import option. Removing duplicate data sets if there are any, which in this case there are not, but that would be a very important thing to look into if there are duplicates. And removing blank data sets, which is something we had to deal with. So first of all, importing the project and changing pre-import settings. So after importing the CSV file of our choosing, we are presented with the options listed below. These consist of selecting what character the values are separated by, which in our case is a semicolon, trimming off white space, storing blank cells as nulls, attempting to parse cell into numbers, which is what would automatically turn the text formatting into numeric values. Next, first of all, we would be changing data into numeric values where we needed. So by default in this, it was all text fields rather than numeric fields, which would not work well with database imports. There is an option to change this automatically in the pre-import, but it's probably best to do it manually just in case the automated solution doesn't perfectly iron out all of the all of the values. So here there's just a really easy way to do it. You just go to the column, you select edit cells, common transforms, to number, and it transforms whatever cell it can that is a number into a numeric value, which is represented on the graphs from left to the right. On the left there are no present, but after I make the change to number, it shows that 263 are numeric values. Next is removing blank data points. These data points have empty cells in them, so a lot of the countries were actually completely empty. So we noticed that all of the countries missing birth rates is pretty much unwanted data, because if it's missing birth rates, it was missing the rest of the data points. And this is done by sorting the first row by text, selecting the blank column, so it only presents which rows have blank birth rate values, and then clicking edit rows and removing all of the selected columns or selected rows. So it automatically removes all of the blank values. The resulting pre-processed data is free, almost completely free of blank data sets. There still are a few blank values left in there, but the majority of them are gone. The ones that were completely empty, at least, were gone. It has its text converted into a numeric value where it's applicable. It is free of duplicate data, which it already was by default, so we didn't really have to go over that. And the blank cells are stored as null, which is not necessarily important just by viewing the spreadsheet, but is important when importing into some sort of database. Here's just a quick video scrolling through our post-processed data. This is actually a very, very easy tool to use. Pre-processing this data only took maybe 20 or so minutes to do, separating the data into different columns, turning text into numeric values, and everything else we did. The resulting data is fairly clean. All duplicates and blank rows are pretty much gone, and unfortunately there was a lack for visual options for turning the data we had into graphs, which is fine for a pre-processing tool, but it would have been a nice touch just to have the last bit of usefulness to come out of this tool. But overall, it was an effective tool for pre-processing data, getting rid of duplicates, changing values of numbers, sorting stuff. It was a fairly useful tool. Thank you.